almost any other metric here, there's ways you can change it. And I'm going to show you at the end uh, the things I've done to change it. I'll show you the proof and how I've measured it. So again, I'm not telling you something that I haven't done myself. And with everything we've done in our practice, almost we've done we've done it before we've ever advised the patient to do it. So these are all things that yeah, you can improve, no doubt about it. All right. So let's go to the next one. Sit to stand. And this is important. That's why when you go to the gym, they're always trying to get you to do squats because the ability to stand up without any assistance from your hands is very important. So what you're supposed to do is sit centered on a standard chair, like 17 inches in height. Your feet are flat and your shoulder width apart. You cross your arms over your chest. You keep your back straight throughout the test, and you stand up completely upright, return seated position without using your arm. And you'll see people, make all kinds of groans and grunts to get up and pushing and scooting to the end of the chair. All of those are bad signs, okay? You should be able to stand up, sit down, okay? And you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to repeat it for 30 seconds. And you want to try and get to 12 to 19 reps. That indicates good fitness. Age targets, again, I'll show you all this. At certain ages, you're expected to do more when you're younger and less as you're older. But if you can meet the goal of a younger person, then that tells you that you are slowing down your aging process. So what are the benefits of this? You measure lower body strength, balance, and cardiovascular health. It predicts fall risk. So, people talk about osteoporosis and taking medications for osteoporosis. Well, let me tell you, bone health is important, but the key is that you don't fall. Even if you have osteoporosis, if you can maintain your balance and not fall, you're not going to break a bone. So that's why even if you have osteoporosis, you want to do these things because you want to try and improve your balance and decrease your fall risk. Okay. So each additional rep correlates with 14% lower mortality risk. Improving by just 2 reps can significantly extend your health lifespan. Now, this test stimulates a movement performed 30 to 50 times daily. Regular practice strengthens key muscles and improves functional capacity. Those with knee or hip concerns should consult a healthcare provider first. So yeah, you don't want to, if you've got a arthritis in your knee or whatever, but I still think that doing this exercise is going to help increase the mobility of the joints. Okay, so that's test number 2. Just being able to stand up without any extra assistance. All right. All right. So let's go to the next one. Gait speed. So I'm showing my age, and Rebel, again, I don't want you to divulge your age, but if anybody used to look at the Carol Burnett show and would see Tim Conway act like an old man and shuffle his feet. Have you ever seen that, Rebel?
It does come on at Nick at Night and some other, I think it's on Tubi TV. Yes, I didn't
Yeah,
see it when it
yeah.
was originally, though.
So when I look at this, I'm like, you don't want to be like Tim Conway when he is shuffling his feet, acting like an old man. You want to you want to walk briskly and you want to take long strides, okay? 100 to 118 steps per minute balances your cardiovascular efficiency with joint health and focus on consistent rhythm over stride length. Okay, so you want to have a nice pace of walking. Not too slow, not too fast, but distance maximum. You want to aim for 1 mile in 15 to 20 minutes. So when you take your walk, you need to at least be doing 3 miles an hour. That would be 20 minutes per mile. Okay.
But that doesn't
So,
include all walks, right? That's on special walks.
oh
You
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah.
take a
That's
nice stroll through the park
yeah,
or the zoo.
exactly. Hey, in this hotel, I love walk slowly so I can try and see, all of the things that are going on. But yeah, if you are taking a walk and you're doing it for health benefits or to decrease aging, you want to be at a reasonable pace. Okay. So yeah, I mean, when you say stop and smell the roses, yeah, you want to do that also. But if you're trying to walk for health benefits, it needs to be at least at this at this pace in order to improve health and to slow down aging. So it reflects integrated cardiovascular, neurological, and musculoskeletal functions. Changes often precede clinical symptoms by months, serving as an early warning system. And now you can track this on the Apple Watch. And if you've never looked at the health icon on the Apple Watch, it looks at gait speed, and it looks at some other metrics. I'm going to show you at the end, but it also looks at gait stride, how long the strides are taking. It really does. It does track a lot of health markers. All right, and again, movement is so important to the neurological system because again, you actually have trillions of connections from all these nerves trying to organize your thoughts, your movements, your speech. So in order for your body to work and to move like you want it, a lot of connections have to be there. So everybody's worried about dementia and how well their brain is working. So you want to make sure that you reinforce those connections, that those connections stay active, because if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. And that is a true statement. So you want to use those nerves, you want to use those muscles so that you don't lose the ability to move. Because I'm telling you, when you lose your mobility, man, you lose a lot of life experiences. You know, I went to Egypt, and you have to crawl down in these caves and you have to climb up. And I'm like, I'm glad that I did it at this age and where I'm this mobile so that I can continue to have experiences and have the full experience of the sights and the sounds that life has to offer. All right. So enough of that. Let me go to the next one. Functional reach. So you're supposed to stand side onto a wall, arm with your arm at shoulder length, just like this woman here is. And you want to try and see how far you can reach. You reach forward as far as possible without taking a step and without falling, of course. Okay. If you can reach greater than 10 inches, you have good balance. And again, this is trying to decrease your risk of falling. Okay. How well can you reestablish balance if you miss a step when you're going up or down the steps? You know, if you don't see the curb, how quickly can you regain your balance? So the more you can reach and not fall, it is going to strengthen your ability to maintain and restore balance. All right. Now here's another one. Now this can be a little challenging, and you want to make sure that you have some support that you can grab onto when you're first starting this. Okay. So this is a single leg balance. This assessment evaluates vestibular function, and that's the back portion of your brain that looks at balance. It's connected to your inner ears and everything. So it's looking at neuromuscular control and stability. And while balance naturally declines with age, regular practice can maintain and improve it. So first, you're supposed to try and stand on one leg with your eyes open. Okay. So you stand on a firm, solid, level surface. You lift your foot approximately 6 inches, and you don't have to pull it all the way up to your knee like that. And your target is, again, it's age related. At 40, you should be able to do it for 40 seconds. At 50, 30 seconds. At 60, 20 seconds. And at 70, 10 seconds. So for some reason, that part of the brain will just, it begins to deteriorate just due to aging. Okay, that's why trying to exercise this part of your brain is so important, to try and slow that down. All right. Now, here's the real challenge when you try and do it eyes closed, and the target is just 10 seconds, because in order to maintain your balance, your body needs to be able to sense where it is. Okay. But the younger you are, your body's able to do that better than when you're older. Okay. Is that you can close your eyes and still maintain your balance on one leg. Now, I will tell you that's challenging, and you really, you need to make sure that you can grab a chair or whatever, or you can put your foot down easily because that takes some practice.